Hello, a very good morning and welcome to the picturesque venue La Diagonela for the season's opening of the Swiss Ski Classics 2014. It really has been a case of all hands to the pump to get this world-famous ski resort ready to make its debut as a ski classics venue, with the unfortunate cancellation of the usual opening venue of Jaderska Padeska in the Czech Republic due to a lack of snow. No such problem here. A wonderful location just north of St. Moritz, located in the Engadine Valley, deep in the eastern Alps of Switzerland. And while it may be a new venue for this event, it is 100% a venue and a location that absolutely takes your breath away. All concerned here are delighted to be here, and all of the heavyweights are competing here this morning. Team Centric, Team Elise Pro, as well as Team Coupe, in a very competitive field. I'm Errol Creary in the commentary booth, and I'm very pleased to be joining me. Who will be helping me, guiding us through proceedings, is none other than Andreas Johansson, who will be in fact competing in some of the events here in this year's Ski Classics. Andreas, welcome.
Thank you very much, Errol. It's a pleasure to be here and take part of this premiere of Ski Classics this year.
All of the training and preparation is over for the competitors. All of the blood, sweat and tears they've had to endure in the off-season, getting themselves ready, is about to be put to the test. As touched on, what a fantastic venue this is here. St. Moritz as well as Engadine Valleys are fantastic winter destinations with many years of experience of World Cups. Certainly this is a much different proposition. 52 kilometers in classic technique with 2 laps starting to finish.
Sandra Hansson from Team Oslo Sportslager.
Zeus village near
What do you
St.
think
Moritz.
about this race and La Diagonela?
It's important. It's Team Oslo Sportslager. Beautiful here, and it's a nice track, so it's going to be a very good day, I think.
And you won Vasaloppet before. Do you think this is a race that suits you as well?
Yeah, you never know. It's high altitude, and Vasaloppet is not on high altitude, so I have to see. I don't know, but I'm going to fight and do my best today.
And you quite a lot of women today. How do you think the competition's going to be?
I don't know, especially when we start 15 minutes before the men also, so it's interesting to see how it's a tactic and so.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
An interview with Sandra Hansson, previous Vasaloppet winner for the women, a very strong candidate for winning our, at least be on the podium today among the women.
Well, she has rightly touched on, we are at altitude today. The terrain here is relatively flat, somewhat difficult due to the altitude of 1,700 meters on the track setting. How much of a problem will that be for the skiers in the opener here today?
Well, could be for some athletes. Some athletes are a little bit more sensitive towards high altitude, so some skiers really like it and performs very well. So it might be different. Individual.
Well, the unfortunate cancellation of the opener in the Czech Republic. One country's loss is another country's gain, and here it is Switzerland who have the honours of opening up. And it is a venue that has hosted the Winter Olympics in 1928 as well as 1948, and one of the most expensive ski resorts still as we speak. They've really had to work hard at just 2 weeks' notice to get this track ready. It certainly looks ready, Andreas.
Really beautiful weather conditions, really magnificent. Now we can see the profile of the track. It's 2 laps on a 26-kilometer track, and it's quite flat. A few uphill parts, but there'll be
yeah,
not
senior
too much
finally,
climbing.
and I hope to be fighting about the yellow bib, and hope to get a good race here today.
And what do you think about the course?
Actually, I don't know the course at all. I came here early this morning, so I'll enjoy the first lap and see how the course is, and then the last lap will be good.
And Susanne Nyström as well from Team Centric is racing. Do you have any tactics?
No, I think we'll have to see. It's a bit about the altitude. We have to see how it works. I've never competed so high before, so I have to see how the body works.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And another interview with Laila Kveli. Finished second in classics last year and winner of the Vasaloppet among the women last year. Also one of the favorites here today.
Well, as she just said in the interview, it's almost like the first day of school here for all the skiers. Not many of the competitors will have experience of this track. And as she said, she only got a practice run in yesterday. Will it really be a case of one lap before everybody gets to know just how it is out there today?
I think the track is not that difficult, so I think the skiers are quite comfortable anyway and can go and ski quite relaxed from the start, even if they don't know the track in detail. So I think they'll be fine. I think we'll have a beautiful day here. This is, I think, dream conditions for cross-country skier. Relatively cold, and as you can see, the tracks look really perfect.
No surprises to see that in the women's start list, heavily dosed with a Swedish contingent as well as littered with a few Norwegians, and of course we have Serena Bona with Team Coop, the Swiss competitor. Team Centric come into this Ski Classics 2014 as the heavy favourites again to take the prize. Is there anybody out there that can stop them, just to stop the rot perhaps?
I think, as you mentioned, those are the absolute favorites. Serena Bona, I think, is the absolute favorite here today. She's always very strong, and the last year's Ski Classic winner. But the Team Centric women with Susanne Nyström and Laila Kveli will be also one of the favorites here today as well. And Sandra Hansson is, of course, also a very strong skier. We have some interesting start in the starting list. Swedish women Britta Johansson Norgren and Sara Lindborg, who are
So Serena Bonner from
and
Team
here's
Coop,
an interview
last
with Serena
year's
Bonner.
Swix Ski Classics champion. What do you think about the race today, Serena?
Well, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful day, so I hope it will be a beautiful race.
And what do you think about racing in your home country?
That will be fantastic, actually. Yeah. I'm looking forward to the race.
Thank you.
Well, an honour it is for Miss Bona to be racing here in Switzerland. Unexpected, she is here. A population of in and around 5,000 people live here in this wonderful skiing resort. And as we've seen in the introduction and the map, 52 kilometres in a classic technique with 2 laps starting and finishing in Zuoz village near St Moritz. It is cold, but perfect conditions, as you said, Andreas. It couldn't be better. The snow looks delicious. Let's hope we do have a competitive race out there today. The women's field not quite as heavily dense as the men. Still, Team Centric as well as Team Coop should be the people that we expect to be there and thereabouts at the end. So the Swix Ski Classics 2014 is up and underway here in La Diagonela, Switzerland. And it is the women who have opened up here. And as you can see already, the team that we expect to be in and around near the end have got off to a good start. The 2 competitors from the Russian marathon team. And while While we touch on the theme of Russians leading at the pack here, of course, we do have the up-and-coming Olympic Winter Games in Sochi, Russia. Kicks off on the 7th of February and concludes on the 23rd. The 22nd Winter Olympic snow events to be held. Krasnaya Polenya, and that will be the most expensive Winter Olympic Games in history.
And we have some of the athletes here today in today's race that will probably compete in the Winter Olympics as well. Among the women we have Swedish women Britta Johansson Norgren and Sara Lindborg, who are possibly participating in the Winter Olympics.
Team Centric, of course, were the winners last year of the Ski Classics. Previously known as Team Extra Personnel, of course. New name, new structure, but still achieving the same results.
And we see from the start that Susanne Nyström and Laila Kveli from Team Centric is starting off in the lead. We have this Swedish Nina Linsén, very strong skier. Right behind Susanne Nyström on second place. Competing for a Swedish team ski pro-am.
Well, we can see there is a slight incline. The ladies are just going uphill somewhat, and we can see the different techniques by all of the competitors as now into going downhill.
Since this track is quite flat, you will see the skiers double poling almost the whole race. Not much uphill climbing today, except for some smaller parts along the track.
And as we have touched on before, this is a new venue for everybody here involved with Ski Classics. Of course, the second one gets up and underway on January the 26th, the Marcia Longa in Italy. As the König Ludwig Lauf in Germany on the 2nd of February. The big one, the real jewel in the crown, of course, the Vasaloppet in Sweden on March the 2nd. Much different proposition, Andreas, with that being just a touch over 90 kilometers compared to 52 here today.
Yeah, it's a quite different race. Almost twice as long, and it is very special. It's takes an extreme endurance from the skiers, and not everyone is really suited for 90 kilometers of skiing. It's something extra, and Vasaloppet is clearly the most prestigious race during the whole year in Ski Classics. The race everyone wants to win.
It's been a long way to go in this race, of course. Certainly, would it be better to be in the middle of the pack or at the front, dictating the pace of the race this early?
It's you always save a lot of energy by staying behind in the middle of the group. So that's a very positive thing, of course. So and a lot of skiers think like that and try to save energy and to make some attempt later on during the race. But this excellent snow and weather conditions make the race very fair in that sense. Today it will not depend on how the skis are prepared or anything like that. Everyone will have very similar possibility and to win the race.
Already we've seen from camera shots up in the air what a magnificent venue this is. Certainly worthy of having its place on the Ski Classics calendar. There have been discussions in previous years as to whether they could squeeze it in. Got in through the back door at the expense of the Czech Republic. As you can see, magnificent, it has to be said. Moritz also well known, of course, for sailing. Host venue for the annual St. Moritz match race on the Lake of St. Moritz. Already we just saw that in the last camera shot.
Seems like the speed is quite moderate still, and I think we'll see during the first lap of this race a little bit cautious tactique from the skiers, and just trying to get into the race, and I think we'll see a lot more action during the second lap.
No surprises again to see Team Centric dictating the pace of this race. Still, the pack is relatively bunched together. Still under the 10-minute mark so far in this race. And has it gone as you would have expected so far?
Yeah, I think, as I said, this will be. I think there'll be a group together during perhaps all of the first whole lap, but then I think things will start to happen. It seems like team-centric women are...
So now we're into as well non-professional skiers, since Swix Ski Classic is a competition as well for the amateurs. So here with us we have Christer Bengtsson, and where are you from?
I'm from Stockholm.
And how come the Icelandic?
It is actually the best racing hat I found, and I happened to buy it in Iceland once when I was in a race.
And how is it to be here in Switzerland and at La Diagonela?
I think that the choice of La Diagonela is probably one of the best choices for a long time. Perfect conditions, weather, looks sunny all over, best temperature, nice people and no queue.
And how many long distance races have you done?
I don't know, I do about 5-6 per year since 8 years back, 7 years back, something.
And now we are on 1,700 meters. How is it to race in this altitude?
I think it's okay for me because I've been staying on this altitude for 1 week now. But I think it would be okay also coming directly from Stockholm. It's not that bad.
Thank you very much.
Well, 10 minutes gone here, and already the women's race is up and underway, and the men are doing their last-minute preparations, limbering up, getting themselves ready. What we hope will be a fantastic race. Already, Andreas, you've touched on the different kinds of skis and preparation for this race. This being a new venue for the competitors, will that make a difference in their preparation?
Not really, I think. And with this snow and weather conditions, it's very stable, and it's very easy to choose how you prepare your ski with the ski waxing. And I suppose that most of the skiers, at least most of the men, will ski without any grip wax at all, since the track is very flat and they can use double poling technique all the way, since these top skiers are extremely strong in their upper body and really won't be using their legs at all almost during this race. It's of course different among the amateurs, who will most probably use grip wax as well to be able to use
Roger
also
Ojupik from Team
their leg in
Coop.
the
What do you think
technique.
about La Diagonela and this course?
I really like it here. It's fantastic surroundings, and hopefully it will be a good day for me and for the rest of the team Coop. So I'm looking forward to the race.
And what do you think about this altitude?
I don't know. I'm really. It's going to be. It's hard to say, but I think it's for me and for all of the others. It's not good to say. So hopefully it will work good for me.
It's a relatively flat course, but is it hard?
Yes, it's quite hard with some uphills and with altitude also. So I think it's going to be a hard day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Already we've heard many of the competitors touch on the altitude out there today. Are we going to see the people with the best lung capacities, the best sprinters, or the ones who have the better endurance win this race today?
So Thomas Alsgaard, Lee's plan go. What do you think about this race here in Switzerland?
It looks to be fantastic. It's nice weather, the tracks are nice, so it's a very good solution this.
And how are the tactics for Lee's plan go today?
We will try to be quite active and offensive and be in the front as long as possible and see what happens.
And the altitude?
Yeah, we'll try to be aggressive and we'll see, maybe we'll do something.
Thank you.
Yeah, they mentioned the altitude, and of course it will have some impact, and some skiers are more affected by
Morten Eide Pedersen, Team Coop,
By
last
the
winner of
high
the
altitude.
Pink Youth competition. You're no longer a youth. How is it going to be to fight with the men today?
A lot more fun. Yeah, it's just to ski hard, and yeah, we'll see how it will be. I love the track and nice conditions, so yeah.
Are you going to double pole or?
Oh, I go with the kick. It's the smartest, I think.
Thank you.
There's an interview with Morten Eide Pedersen, and before that Roger Ajupik from Team Coop. And we actually heard that they will, at least Morten Eide Pedersen will use a grip wax, so which indicates they want to have some good grip uphill, and maybe that's a good choice, being on high altitude as well. And I think today a skier with really good heart and lung capacity and endurance will be the one who can win this race.
Well, what a start this we have here
Anders
again for
Aukland,
the
Team
men.
Centric, last year's winner of Swix Ski Classic. How can you repeat last season, Anders?
We'll see. I have to race today and see what happens. It's nothing.
You've been here for almost a week now, due to the altitude, or?
I don't know. We'll see.
And what about the double poling or the kick wax?
We'll see today.
Anders Aukland hurries off to the starting line, and of course Anders Aukland, the winner of Ski Classics last 2 years, the real dominant in long distance skiing for many years, is absolutely the top favorite here today. And Stanislav Rezak is always a strong candidate for a podium. The real veteran who never makes a bad race, really.
The four heavyweights that we expect to be on the podium here today, all over the age of 35. Incredible, really, that these guys still have the will to succeed, their fitness, their training regimes, and still have the hunger to win Ski Classics competitions.
Yeah, that's really interesting. As you mentioned earlier, many of the top skiers, favorites, are over 35, and Anders Aukland is well, 4 years old and still perhaps the world's best long-distance skier.
Well, he's won just about everything imaginable here in his career. 41 years of age now. Olympic Games gold medalist, of course, in Salt Lake City in the 4x10 kilometers. As you said, he is the favourite for today. His brother, of course, is in the field, and he will push him all the way of that, I'm sure. Now it's over to the men as the ladies are well up and underway. The scenery here is just fantastic. It really does blow you away. And all of the skiers so far have agreed that the change of venue here is a good thing.
Yeah, they look very happy, and I understand them. This is a really fantastic day to ski. So this is really something they look forward to. And also, of course, it's the first race, and they've been waiting for this day for a very long time, training so hard during the whole summer and autumn, and now they really want to start racing and see what they can do, really. I think, as I mentioned, for the women, I think there will be a little bit cautious tactic in the beginning of the race, and a lot more will happen during the second half.
Well, Anders Auckland didn't want to give anything away in that interview as to whether he would be double poling or not. Just talk us through exactly what she was trying to ask of him.
Yeah, the reporter wanted to know if Anders Auckland will use any grip wax today, or if he will just double poling with his arms and upper body. And well, I don't know if he didn't want to answer or if he was just in a hurry to make it to the starting line. But we'll see quite soon when they get in the uphill part which skier has grip wax and which skier has go without grip wax and just double poling, also even uphill. Since the snow conditions are well, they are quite good, but it's not the fastest snow conditions. It's quite cold, so it will be a little bit tougher to go with just double poling than if the tracks are a little bit, the snow is faster. But I think that we'll see some skiers anyway go without grip wax, just double poling. And there is Daniel Tinell up in the front, 3 times Vasaloppet winner, and always candidate for the podium.
A bit of light relief now for the skiers. They started off on the zoo start line as the ladies did. It is an uphill start before a slight decline. We'll hit the 10-kilometer mark once again at Zurich, and at the halfway point it will be the golf point. And we'll come back round again to do a second lap. Again, this is the first in the season for the Swix Ski Classics. That is the point where they're at now, and there it is, the ladies. As you can see, Bonner, as expected, out in front. Course number 5. We can get ourselves across to Norway on March the 15th. for the Birkebeiner Rennet, and of course we end up back in Sweden for the second time, the Orafels Loppet. And how different is that final course compared to the Vasaloppet, also in Sweden?
The Vasaloppet is a really flat race which actually goes mostly a little bit downhill actually. So, but it's a very long race, so it's very special in that way. Comparing to this race and the last two races of the ski classes, the Birkebeiner and Orefjällsloppet, those other races are have a lot more up and downhill parts, so they are quite different, and these different races suit different skiers really, where some skiers are extremely strong in double poling on flat tracks, and other skiers are stronger in uphill climbing parts. Some skiers manage really all conditions, like for example Anders Aukland, which is part of his the reason why he's been the best long distance skier for many years is he can manage all conditions really, strong both uphill and in double poling.
And we have seen Team Centric already dominate this event now for the last couple of seasons. More and more sponsorship money has been pumped in. Of course, this year the total prize money has been increased to 200,000 euros. What do the other teams need to do to step up to try and get rid of that stranglehold that Team Centric have on this event?
Yeah, it's I think Team Centric looks like a favorite in the team competition this year, as before, and it will be very hard for the other teams to compete with Team Centric, but we have some teams who have the possibility, Team Coop and Team Leaseplan Go, for example, but they look very strong also this year. Team with the brothers Anders and Jörgen Aukland in Team Centric will be very difficult to beat this year. And we saw Jörgen Aukland, the younger brother of Anders, were in the lead. It looks like he's caught up by the other one now.
Well, this course, of course, a learning curve for all of the skiers out there today. And it's still a learning curve for some of the teams out there today. Team Vatago, of course, Team Ski and Run, all here again. As well as the Russian marathon team, perfect for them with regard to the up-and-coming Russian Olympics. But as we have spoken about, it is Team Coop, Team Centric, Team United Bakeries, all the teams that we expect to be at the front. Surely again this year will be there, and they have a bit of a problem this year, of course, with the Olympics sandwiched in between the ski classic events. How much of a problem will that be for the skiers?
Well, there are a few skiers that focus and will race both traditional skiing, aiming for the Olympics, and long distance skiing. So for those skiers, of course, it's might be difficult to focus on both, and the ones who are aiming for the Winter Olympics will probably don't compete in all the ski classic races before the Olympics. So but probably more after the Winter Olympics. But we see here today among the women, example in pink suit, a little bit behind the leading group. We have the Swedish girls Britta Johansson Nordgren and Sara Lindborg, who are example of skiers who are aiming also for the Winter Olympics. It's not very easy to focus on both, but this might be a really good preparation also for the Winter Olympics.
It's clear to see the conditions are not what they were at the start of the race. Crystal clear, hardly a cloud in the sky. Somewhat different now. Poses another problem for the skiers. We see there Team Centric just beginning to make their move. Of course, at the front we still have Suzanne Nyström. First split of the race at the 10 kilometers mark, 26 minutes gone. Team Ski Pro-Am, of course, more than delighted to be here. But unsurprisingly, what they are at the back of the pack. So very little to choose between Nyström and Ronova. Certainly, what is going through the mind now? 26 minutes gone so far. Is it a mental battle as well as a battle against fatigue at this point of the race, or still plenty of mileage left for them to go?
I think still during the race they have quite a lot of energy left. It's really last 10 kilometers where the mental strength of the skiers really come in place, and it's necessary to push your body limits and focus on a strong finish. At this point in the race, most skiers feel very strong and with a lot of energy. And that's why I think any action and try to break away will happen on the second half of the race, where skiers are getting a little bit more tired. It's more easy to do something really. We can see among the men the speed looks quite fast. You can see the leading group is very much spread out, which is clear indicator that its speed is quite high. Some skiers have difficult to follow.
Certainly a good thing for us. You see once again on the time clock, we do have the Finnish sports brand Sunto, who have agreed to partner up with Swix to take long distance skiing to another level. Amateur and professional skiers will be wearing and endorsing the GPS tracking and heart rate monitoring equipment out there today. Again, we've touched on it, is altitude. The heart certainly is going to take a pounding at the end of this race from all of the skiers. And what a perfect view and vantage point you have if you do have yourself an apartment here today. Mountains in the background, perfect snow conditions. So far, so good. It is a competitive race. A long way to go, just over the 6 kilometers mark for the men. And as you said, Andreas, the pace is good. Can they maintain it?
Yeah, I think so. Normally, the pace is very even through the race. That's something they always try to achieve. It's the most efficient way to perform the race. It's to go with a relatively even pace. Of course, during some parts there can be some breakout attempts or something like that, but normally try to go with in even pace and find their own rhythm where they can keep all the way. That's always quite difficult, of course. It sounds easier than it is to really know how to what kind of tactic to use and to feel how much power and energy you have.
Bono again still is the current leader in the women's race. What a fantastic competitor she is and has been over the years.
Yeah, absolutely. She's an exceptionally strong skier and has been the total dominant in the ski classics for women during many years now.
Looking at a shot of competitor from the Russian marathon team. 88 nations and an estimated 2,500 athletes will be taking part in the Sochi Winter Olympics. Certainly something we have been waiting for a while. Let's hope for everybody that it does live up to expectation. Team Ski Pro-Am. Rightfully kitted out in pink. No chance whatsoever of not seeing them on the course.
Now perhaps it looks like the pace is going down a little bit. You can see the group is gathering up a little bit more dense. And of course, during this race, the skiers need to refill their energy and drink regularly during the race. And normally they drink every 4 kilometers or so, every 15 minutes perhaps, and which is necessary to be able to go the whole race with full speed. And all teams have their own service personnel helping them, providing energy drink along the race.
Certainly this course here is flat, and already we see there has been a coming together.
And an accident there.
Well,
looks like a real mess there.
Oh, it certainly does. That is unfortunate, and there are in fact members of the team Centric involved. Well, what a situation now.
Yeah, that was a really bad incident for Team Centric. We saw, for example, Jörgen Auklanden, number 2, one of the favorites here today. He got stuck for a really long time, and seems like he lost like half a minute or so. Not very good. Now he needs to make a real effort to catch up with the leaders, which is, of course, he will make that quite soon, but he will be forced to use a lot of extra energy, which could be very negative in the end.
Well, the good thing from his point of view is that accident has happened just after 8 kilometers, I should say. So he has plenty of time to make it up. Certainly, let's hope, from his point of view and the other guys involved in that collision, that no one was actually hurt.
Looked like everything went well. The main risk usually is that the poles break, which could be very bad. Sometimes there are service personnel along the track with extra poles, of course, but if you have bad luck, you might be forced to go for a while without one or both your poles, which then of course you lose a lot of time. Seems like there was no breaking of skis or pole this time. There in behind, in the back, you can see Jürgen Aukland and the others who fell in that accident, trying to catch up, and they will do that very soon.
Well, he's got a wealth of experience under his belt, Jürgen Aukland. 38 years of age now, twice the winner of the Vasaloppet and 4 times the winner of the Marseille Longer, and he'll need to use that experience, utilize it to get himself back to the front of the pack.
Yeah, of course, such an incident happens, it's easy to get very frustrated and irritated, of course, but experienced skier like Jürgen Aukland and others, of course, are used to handling things like that, which do happen occasionally.
It's just unfortunate that so many of the skiers was involved in that collision. Unfortunately, we didn't see how it happened. They all got up very quickly to get on with business.
And Sven is coming up for the first sprint after 10 kilometers. And the first one crossing the line at the first sprint is young Christian Dahl from United Bakeries. Not very surprising, he has been a very talented sprint skier, so not very surprising that he wins the first sprint award here.
As for that collision, Team Coop came through that sprint in 2nd place. Good to see Team Coop once again getting themselves still among the front runners. And an excellent training camp based in central Sweden. Berget. From early November, the main focus, of course, was testing and evaluating the coming events. The snow conditions there, excellent, but they are here without their captain, unfortunately, as well as Lucas Bayer, all missing out due to illness. So a lot of responsibility falls on the shoulders, of course, of Jimmy Johnson, as well as the Norwegian Morten Eder Pedersen. So far, so good for Team Coop.
We saw there a little bit behind the leading group, Jerry Arlene from Team Centric. He looks like he had a really tough day today, having trouble keeping up with the leading group. Jerry Arlene, normally a skier who is a candidate for the podium, have won several races in the ski classics. throughout the years.
With that, he has third in the 2008 Vasaloppet, as well as competing in the World Cup since 2002. Jerry Arlin, 36 years of age he will be on Thursday next week. What a good birthday present for him if he were to, surprisingly somewhat, get himself on the podium. But as you've rightly said, Andreas, not doing as well as we would have expected here today. Perhaps the conditions, perhaps the altitude could be affecting him.
That will be interesting. Perhaps we'll know after race what might be the problem. We can see he's almost 48 seconds after the leader, which is it's a lot of time after only 10 kilometers. Something is really missing for Jerry Arlin here today, unfortunately for him.
38.6 kilometers to go, and it will be interesting viewing to see if Jürgen Orkland can make up that distance. Slowly but surely, just beginning to scythe his way through the pack. He does have a lot of time to do it.
I think it's Jürgen Orkland. We can see very close now, actually caught up with the leading group now. And now with his experience, I expect him to stay behind and the others and save some energy now to be ready to go when things happen during the second lap.
Certainly it is a position that is alien to him. Of course, we've been accustomed to seeing him at the front. It will be a battle of wills and tactics now for Jürgen Orkland. As we said, been in the shadow of his brother for so many years now, 38. Still.
Yeah, now we see Jürgen Orkland is advancing and is close to his brother Anders now. In the lead now, the Swedish skier Lars Ljung from Helsinki ski team. Lars Ljung is a very good long distance skier. Helsinki ski team is a small team.
See Kart Algo of Team Vatago get himself in and around the front. Team that has now been involved in the Ski Classic competition in this its second season. Certainly gained experience from last season and took a lot of positives from that. Certainly anything they can get themselves in and around the front today with regard to the camera being focused on them all helps the sponsorship. Airtime for the skiers.
It's very interesting to see more and more teams joining Ski Classics, and the Ski Classics which increasing and get very has got very high status among the skiers. A lot of team wants to take part in this great event, and of course it's more and more sponsors are interested in signing up for Ski Classics.
Well, certainly it is a competition that is going on from strength to strength with every year of it being on the calendar. Looking forward to seeing yourself compete in the Ski Classics this year, Andreas. How's the training been going?
Well, so far so good, and when I see these pictures, get really anxious to can't wait to start the racing season myself. Looks very, very nice. Now we see some of the skiers are drinking, many of them at the same place.
To all the staff of Swix Classic, beginning with David Nilsson, with Mari Haugen, with Thomas Granlund, Erik Wilson, Karel Jonah, Christian Padilla, Alex Marek, and Charlotte Jonasson. To all of you, thank you very much for your big help in organizing this event.
A quick repeat there of the start of the race, and a wonderful shot we're looking at now of the venue that these participants are skiing at here today. Already we've talking about the different conditions, the different kinds of snow in every country. It is a new venue, and it is a venue that is worthy to be here. Certainly we've spoken about Jerry Ireland and the conditions and what it can do to a skier if he is struggling somewhat. There's still over 30 kilometers in this race. What's going through his mind right now when you are struggling against the conditions as well as your body?
Yeah, it's very difficult in that situation. I think Jerry probably feels that his body isn't really in the best shape here today, and of course then it's really a struggle from the start to finish. Not at all like when you're in your best shape and just go on. So it's really really tough situation for Jerry, and he'll be fighting the whole race, not to give up, keep fighting. And this is interesting to see among the women. We can see Serena Bonner in the lead, going strong uphill here, and we have among the women Susanne Nyström, who clearly is going without any grip wax, just double poling uphill. It's very strong of her.
Certainly surprising. 5 doing the technique with all in the leg. Just one of the front runners double poling, but not so Bonner. A fantastic technique shown by her.
And here you can see that it's quite steep uphill really. And you can see Serena Bonner really is she's got some distance behind her down to Laila Kveli actually.
She's certainly taken advantage of the incline going uphill there to great effect, just to open up that gap, Andreas.
Very strong of Serena Bonner. We'll see soon how long distance. Yeah, it's 20-30 meters. It's very interesting. Serena Bonner looks like she's making a move already this early in the race.
Going uphill, she's maintained a huge gap now. Can she maintain it? And what has that taken out of the others?
Yeah, we can see Susanne Nyström she has trouble to follow the chasing group now. Very tough for Susanne Nyström. I wonder if she really made the right choice not using any grip wax today. Well, I'm not so sure.
She really has fallen behind, it has to be said, no doubt about it. 5 minutes ago, she was in and around the leaders. Now, that gap is 50-60 meters as the incline is about to come to an end and the skiers give themselves a breather going downhill. Well, we came here today expecting a battle on both the men's and the women's race from Team Coop as well as Team Centric. And in the women's race, it is Team Coop, as we speak, are out in front, and it is Bonner who really made full advantage and full use of that incline. certainly looks good fitness-wise as well.
She obviously feels so strong today that she feels she has the capacity to break away and be able to stay in the lead for the rest of the race. Otherwise she wouldn't dare trying a breakout this early in the race. And now it's something the other women needs to think about how they're going to handle this situation. The best chance of catching up with Rainer Bonner is to help each other.
At this point of the race, sorry to cut in, Andreas, would they now be working as a team? We see Nystrom as well as Kavely at the back there for Team Centric.
Yeah, I think that now you have two Laila Kvel and Susanne Nystrom of Team Centric, and you have the team, the Russian marathon team. So I think they really will try to help each other and switching off in the lead, which could be helpful and perhaps make them able to catch up with Rainer Bonner. But
here is the leading group of the men, and out in front for Team Centric it is Jürgen Auckland. Could this be the event that he gets one over on his older brother?
It's interesting. He's already back in the lead, Jürgen Anders Auckland, after that incident.
Oh, what a monumental effort it has been by the 41-year-old. Really do run out of superlatives when you describe this man. Set the record, of course, in 2004 as the Vasaloppet winner. 3 hours and 48 minutes that day. And what is a demanding circuit. What a fantastic effort that was, and what a fantastic effort it has been after the accident some 20 minutes ago to get himself from the back to the front and put himself in contention again to get himself on the podium. Just beginning to see fractions in the pack. Of course, a lot more in the men's field. A total of 85 competitors, just 19 in the women's. And in the women's, we have the best 6 out in front as we speak of that 19, with Bonner leading the pack.
Yeah, we could see the leading group in the men's competition was quite spread out now. Jürgen Auckland has set up a really high pace at the moment, and I think soon we'll see the leading group get smaller and smaller.
A perfect view, a perfect setting as well as perfect scenery here. It is a sight to behold, and we're delighted to be here, of course, for the opener in the Ski Classics. Certainly the terrain is relatively flat, and we've seen so far that the skiers have coped with the conditions as well as the altitude well. And it will be a big topic of debate as to whether this venue here gets themselves back on the Ski Classics calendar. Of course, given the nod at short notice. All of the skiers in the pre-match interviews have said it has been a decision that has been vindicated. Diagonela, of course, known and suited for the elite amongst skiers getting themselves here for a break. But right here, right now, we're seeing a fascinating race with 32.8 kilometres to go. And we've spoken about Jerry Arlin, Anders Auckland, as well as his brother Jürgen, but we haven't yet spoken about Jürgen Brink. Perhaps a surprise package today, or is that being unfair? Sweden's finest.
Yeah, Jürgen Brink is a fantastic skier. He's had a fantastic career, really, starting out as traditional skier with several medals from the World Championships during the years. Then a career as a within biathlon, and then focusing for many years now in long distance skiing with fantastic results, winning the Vasaloppet 3 times in a row, and been in top of the ski classics for many years. A fantastic finisher. Jörgen Brink is someone that no one wants to fight with in the last 500 meters. Is where he's very strong and won several races in that way.
It will be interesting to see if he does have a strong finish today. So far, just over the midway point of this race, Jürgen Auckland has managed to get himself from back to front. But at the latter stages of that race, even at 38 years of age, will that affect him if Brink can make a move?
I think Jürgen Brink is usually a skier that doesn't try to break out early in the race. He knows he has perhaps one of the strongest finishes of all the skiers, so he doesn't really need to break away and have a gap before the finish. He can rely on his strong finish the last couple of kilometers. So Jürgen Brink is usually among along in the top group, but he seldom makes a move before the finish. And the opposite with the Auckland brothers, who often try to break away early, often in uphill parts where they are very strong. And we can see that it's Jürgen Auckland in the lead, who is only double poling. So he obviously doesn't have any grip wax. His brother, though, Anders Auckland, is actually using grip wax. We can see he skis with the diagonal technique now uphill, while Jürgen Auckland is just double poling. So they shows different ski preparations, two brothers.
Well, they're in third place. Good to see Team United Bakeries amongst the front runners. Of course, we expected Team Centric, as it so has conspired, to be out in front. And if it does get into a tactical battle, Jürgen Brink, of course, representing Team Lease Plan Go, where we see a bit of gamesmanship, a bit of brinksmanship from the members of Team Centric to crowd him out, perhaps.
Yeah. And we see the pace is very high now. Now we see many skiers have trouble following the Auckland brothers, who set up a really high speed. They want to do something already in this race. And we see from Team United Bakeries we have Jon Christian
as well,
Dahl,
also
number 28, Jon Christian Dahl, who won the sprint prize after 10 kilometers. We have Anders Auckland, and on third place we have actually the Estonian skier Algo Karp. Jürgen Auckland, he is really going hard now.
Well, shortly preceded by his brother, and a lot of incentive for the skiers out there today. Total prize money, of course, to €200,000. We see 6% of that total prize money going to the Ski Classic Sprint winner. 20% of the total prize money going to the Ski Classics champion men overall. Of course, these guys not only chasing the honour, the accolades of the bragging rights of winning here. The yellow and green bibs also on offer as well. Would that be in their minds at this stage of the race?
I think most of the skiers doesn't focus that much on the sprint prizes. Their first goal is to be first over the finishing line. But of course, we have some sprint specialists who are very quick, who will also try to win the sprint awards and the total ski classic sprint.
Over the midway point, well and truly now of this race. So they have completed one lap and they're now totally accustomed to the conditions and to the track conditions. Of course, the winners of the sprint will get a total of 45 points to go into their rankings position.
And now we can see on the women, Seraina Bonner still in the lead. She has only one skier who's been able to follow her.
The damage really was done on the last incline. We saw how well she dealt with the heel, Bonner. That gap was approximately 50 meters and now it has been pegged back.
And it seems like it's Olga Rodcheva from the Russian marathon team, number 15, who is the only woman who is able to follow Seraina Bonner today. She has a couple of meters gap, really. Rodcheva is really struggling to keep up with the Bonner. Bonner's really trying to get the gap to increase.
Certainly looks so smooth out there in front. And the Russian, as you said, struggling to keep on her coattails, using every ounce of energy possible.
Yeah, she knows if she loses the back of Bonner, it's very difficult to get back and catch up. So Rodcheva really needs to catch up this last 5 meters she has up to Bonner to be able to save some energy, stay in the behind Bonner.
We've yet to see where the chasing pack is with regard to being behind these two. It will be interesting to see if the Russian can maintain this pace. Bonner, we know, so good at getting herself out in front and staying there.
I think that from what I see, I think it will be very difficult to match Seraina Bonner today.
There indeed is the closing pack. Bit of distance there, Andreas, but still plenty of mileage, kilometers left in this race. That distance can be halved.
Still a lot can happen, of course. That's what's really interesting about long distance skiing. It's really about endurance, and a lot of things can happen really in the end of races where your body gets tired, your muscles tired, you lose your energy, and it's the mental struggle of forgetting all about the pain in your body.
Just talk us through the training, the preparation to get yourself in a race of this magnitude.
What they do in spring, summer, and autumn, they do a lot of roller skiing and a lot of upper body strength training, running, of course, and of course also skiing on snow on a regular basis to keep the feeling of skis towards the snow. And it's a lot of training. I think the top athletes train about at least 800 hours every year, which is efficient training, and that's quite a lot. It's really stretching the limits of what the body can do, really.
Well, just some moments ago we was talking about whether Russian can overtake.
Yeah, we can see Rocheva is Shaidurova. Was my mistake there. It's Shaidurova from Russian marathon team.
Well, it is a team that is still unknown to a lot of Russian fans, this Russian marathon team. Relatively new team, has repeatedly participated in ski classic events. Certainly they're doing their best out there to make a name for themselves. Two of their skiers inside the top three as we speak. As we're about to go into the Zeus part of the course at 25 kilometers and nothing between them. 24.8 seconds between third and second. Big gap at the moment, Andreas.
Yeah, it's obviously two skiers who really probably going to fight but first place today. Now we have service team member of Team Coop. Was probably telling Serena Boner about the distance behind and how the other competitors look like. So we have two small groups with Serena Boner and Shiruyeva, and then 25 seconds behind Rocheva and Susanne Nyström chasing up, but distance has been increasing.
A much more competitive field as it is in the men's, with a distance of 27.1 kilometers still to go. Still a lot of skiers bunched together in that leading pack. We've seen Anders Auckland get himself from the front to back. Seems like forever and age ago that accident occurred. 19 minutes was gone when that happened. And now just over 6 minutes over the 1 hour mark of the skiers being in action. They're well into their flow, they're well into a rhythm at the moment. It's when the fitter ones really do come to the table.
And I think in the lead now, among the men, it's one of the Tinell brothers. I can't see which one of them. We have Daniel Tinell, the older brother, more experienced, 3 times Vasaloppet winner. Really one of the favorites here today. And his younger brother, Rickard, not as experienced, but a very talented skier who's actually made some very fine results here in the earlier races during this beginning of this season. So maybe the younger brother Rickard Tinell is have some kind of breakthrough here. We'll see. Yeah, it's Rickard Tinell, the younger brother, in the lead, double poling uphill, as we saw. Not using grip brakes today, like many others. And now actually on second place, we have his older brother Daniel Tinell. It might be a fight between two pairs of brothers, really. The Auckland brothers and Tinell brothers today.
And what a conundrum it would be if we were to have two sets of brothers in the top four. Just over the midway point, 26 kilometers to go. We've seen a few teams at the front. Team Centric, of course, as expected. Team Coop as well. Now, as you said, Team Tinell. On the women's side, the Russian marathon team so far are the surprise package.
That's quite interesting. It looked like Rickard Tinell was really trying to break away. It's a real attempt. It's quite early. It's not so certain that will be successful. It's always an advantage to be together in a group chasing a single skier. It's not easy to get away. Maybe it's a tactique now by the Tinell brothers. Rickard Tinell going away, Daniel Tinell maybe stay behind in the chasing group, reducing the pace and letting his younger brother break away. Maybe we'll start to see a little bit more tactics, team tactics in ski classics, a little bit more like in cycling, for example, races like Tour de France, where the teams really help each other. We haven't seen that too much in long distance skiing, but I think that's something we'll see more and more of in the future.
Well, as you said, more and more teams are beginning to enter ski classics with every year, more and more sponsorship money being pumped in. And there was nothing really in those split times in that leader pack.
And now we can see Jörgen Brink, one of the favorites today, passing far behind, really, 38 seconds after Rickard Tinell. So we can see that Jörgen Brink is not having a very good day here today. But with Jörgen Brink, you can really never be certain. He's made some fantastic finishes of many races before.
Looking now at Rickard Tinell of Team Tinell. Just lengthening his stride as we speak here. This magnificent skiing complex, La Diagonela, 50 kilometers.
And now we can see the men start to catch up with the women, who were starting 15 minutes before the men.
Certainly still a good rhythm, smoothness to his technique.
Very strong, powerful, and beautiful double pole technique.
Change the racing line there, Andreas. Any particular reason?
I'm not sure, really.
A quick look behind there. There is a big distance now, and he's certainly looking to make that distance even better.
It might be when skier is double poling like this, it might be a little bit monotonous, so it might feel good for your legs to just switch track now and then to get some variety and move your legs a little bit. And it's interesting to see now. It's there's no real action going on in the chasing group.
21 seconds the difference.
Yeah, we can see it's
time now.
No one in the chasing group is really trying to do something to catch up with Rickard Tinell, which is of course very positive for Rickard Tinell. Now he has the ability to increase the distance. So the chasing group, they really need to cooperate if they want to catch up with Rickard.
We see there, unfortunately for Lise Plan, looks like one of their competitors will perhaps be playing no further part in this race. We see there in the chasing pack Roger R. Dupvik, the Norwegian of Team Coop. And he has a lot of responsibility today, as we have touched on. Their captain, Oscar Svard, unfortunately couldn't make it out there today for Team Coop, as well as himself, Jimmy Johnson as well. They are way back. Just some moments ago, the gap was 45 seconds.
Yeah, of course, Team Coop really misses Oscar Svärd today, their big star. 3 times Vasaloppet winner, who unfortunately couldn't make it here today. I will see Rickard Tinell tries to double pole between the tracks, trying to feel if the snow was softer and to find better glide there, but seems like he feels it's easier to go in the tracks.
As this course being used more and more, we're now for 1 hour of activity on the men's race. Does the snow soften? Does it become easier for the skis to grip?
I think it's quite stable conditions during the whole race, since it's quite cold in the air and in the snow. So I think track and snow weather conditions will be very stable during the whole race, which makes it easier for the athletes.
There we see in that chasing pack, of course, Jürgen Auckland. That gap was 30 seconds. He's been at this stage of a race many times in his career with a gap of 30 seconds, and he's managed to overturn those gaps.
Yeah, 30 seconds is still not that much, really, in these circumstances. It's whenever they decide in the chasing group to make a real effort, I think 30 seconds is something that they can catch up quite easily, but it takes some cooperation.
It's almost like a game of poker out there at the moment. Who is going to make the first move in that chasing pack?
Yeah, because I guess no one really wants to do the work catching up. Perhaps many of them waiting for some other skier to do the job.
Still over 20 skiers still bunched in that chasing pack. So far, Rickard Tarnell is doing a good job of leading these men through. This men's race got off to a good pace, as you said, Anders, and they still managed to maintain that pace.
Now we have Jörgen Aukland leading the chasing group. Looks like pace has increased. Following Jörgen Aukland is Daniel Tinell. And here is younger brother Rickard in the lead.
Team Centric, of course, formerly known as Team Extra Personnel, winner of Ski Classics 3 years in a row, and as well is doing their best to lead that leading pack around to close that gap. Anders and Jörgen Aukland are soon to take over more of the managerial situation as coach for their side to try and drive this team forward even more. Of course, they will keep their focus on winning ski races, but a lot of responsibility on the shoulders of the brothers now in the team.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Jörgen and Anders Aukland are so experienced skiers. Anders been competing on the world top level for more than 20 years. So I think they really know what to do. So I don't think they're so nervous at the moment. They know they have plenty of time to do something. And feels like they maybe have caught in some time on Rickard Tinell now. Seems like the gap is closing in a little bit. Now we see Daniel Tinell is in the lead in the chasing group. I suspect he will try to slow down the group, letting his brother keep his gap.
As it is in so many team sports, as you rightly said, cycling, the Tour de France, Formula One perhaps, team tactics certainly can come to the table. That is a perfect shot of the gap now. These men slowly but surely just beginning to catch the women's race. How much of a problem will that be for the skiers? The men catching the women almost in the way of the men.
I think it's gonna go just fine. It's not very crowded, so, and there's several tracks, so it will be quite easy, I think.
Well, another look over his shoulder there for Rickard Tarnell.
Yeah. I think he feels like they've been closing in a little bit.
Well, again, we see a couple of the female skiers just ahead of Tarnell, and again, for the second time, he's changed his racing line.
And to the right, we can see fight for first place among the women. Seraina Bonner still in the lead, and the Russian marathon team, Shiraeva, still be able to keep up with Bonner. Seraina Bonner has had a quick drink there from her service personnel in the team crew, and letting Shiraeva take over the lead. I guess that's quite smart of Bonner to not to be first for all the race. Now she can stay behind a little while and save some energy. Now we come back to the uphill parts. As you can see on the second lap, Rickard Tinell double poling, frequent pushing quite hard now to increase the gap, which
Still,
is
that
quite
gap
long.
is still being maintained as well. He's been leading now for a good 25 minutes now, has Rickard Tinell. Still, he's showing no signs of wailing. 20.3 kilometers to go. Still a lot can happen, a lot of change over of the leaders in this men's race. One person we haven't seen so far at the front, Stanislav Rezek, the 40-year-old Czech Republic skier.
That's right, we haven't seen that much of Rezek. He's usually a skier that can be quite anonymous during the race, but he's always fair when it's closing up for a finish. So you can never really leave him out of the picture. He's a very stable skier. And we had a bit over 30 seconds, 40 seconds really. Yeah, still between Rickard Tinell and the chasing group.
So he's increased that gap by just over 10 seconds now. Oh, he is an accomplished skier.
Still looks strong. No
looks
signs
strong.
of weakness yet.
Without being unfair to Rickard Tinell, it would be a surprise to see him perhaps win this race.
Yeah, that would be a surprise, really. Rickard Tinell has been, of course, among the top 20 skiers, but never really been close of winning or really close to the podium yet. We know he've had the capacity, but maybe this year is his year really to take final step to the absolute top of long distance skiing.
Well, so far he has taken advantage of this being a new venue on the Ski Classics calendar. Of course, Jezerska Padasatka in the Czech Republic, unfortunately, was taken off the calendar this year due to the Indian summer, which has gone on in some parts of Europe, and there has been a lack of snow in that part of the world. The 19.1 kilometers to go. Team Tinell are on course for a surprise podium finish.
Yeah, the lack of snow this winter has been forcing the skiers to change their plans really, and find new places to go and find snow and get the right training. But seems like Rickard Tinell has been doing very good training for this season. Perhaps going for his best season ever in his career.
Well, the clock is ticking down on this race here, and more spectators are coming out to view the show. It's good to see. The season's premiere, of course, in the Swix Ski Classics.
Once again, we see Daniel Tinell in the lead of the chasing group. Seems like an obvious team tactics from Team Tinell. It's quite fun to see, actually. Daniel Tinell letting his brother increase the gap, going for victory, and Daniel Tinell can focus on fight for second place. What a triumph that will be for Team Tinel, but still 18 kilometers to go. And I think Team Centric wants to have a part in that as well.
Well, you're certainly right. They're just beginning to make their move, so it seems. We now have 3 racing lines. At this point in the race, will it be that Team Centric does in fact make their move to get inroads into that lead by Team Tinel? Well, he's increasing that lead. Just under 60 seconds now, the gap. Oh, he's not waning at all out there at the moment, Rickard Tinel. Got to take your hat off to him. He's made his move early and he's maintained that lead so far.
We also have in the chasing group 2 skiers from Team Lease Plan Go in their orange suits.
Already, they'll need to do something, at least plan, because they have had one competitor who had to withdraw from the race.
Yes, and Jörgen Brink in Team Lease Plan Go is a bit far behind, so it's been a little bit tough for some of the skiers in Team Lease Plan Go, but they have many excellent skiers in their team, and 2 of them are still in the fight for winning this race.
Jürgen Brink, of course, team leader for Team Lease Plan Go. At this stage of the race, would it be better to be a front runner or in the middle of the pack, chasing, conserving energy, waiting to make your move?
Well, it depends really on what kind of a skier you are. If you have a strong finish, last 100, 500 meters or so, then you can stay in the group behind and conserve your energy and focus for the finish. If you know you don't have the best finish, then you need to do something before the finish really, and perhaps something in an uphill part, and then you need to be more active earlier now.
Back to the women's race, and it is still the best 2 out in front. Still, so far, so good for the Russian marathon team.
Larissa Shaidurova still for a while now, just before Serena Bonner. But I have a feeling that Serena Bonner is has quite a lot of strength left, and I expect her to make a move probably in the next uphill part of this race, where she's extremely strong.
Oh, what a coup, and what a fantastic day it would be here in Switzerland if Bonner was to win here on her home circuit.
Really, she was really happy to compete here in her home country.
Well, the supporters slowly but surely are coming out to lend weight of support to Bonner.
Team Centric Susanne Nyström. Looks like she's been keeping the speed up quite well. She has lost a little bit of more time compared to Bonner, but not that much. I think we had the distance of 25 seconds or so last time, but now it's well, it's almost 50, a little bit more than 50 seconds now. But she's on a clear third place in this race.
And what is going through her mind right now? She has no one behind her by a good distance. and she's almost 60 seconds behind the front runners. Cruise control, or does she need to make inroads into that lead?
It's a little bit of a difficult position. I think what she does is to focus on a little bit of a safe tactic. I think she knows that first and second place is gone. She really wants to stay on the podium, so I think she plays it a little bit safe, not taking too much risks, keeping energy so that she knows she'll be able to finish off in a stable way, not jeopardizing her third place.
Here we are at the split, and we have the men's leader, the second sprint, Rickard Tynell of Team Tynell.
Interesting to see now if the gap has increased or if they are closed in.
Well, what a situation we have now for Rickard Tynell. His brother Daniel has long been the focus of races for more than a decade now. Really has embedded himself in this team. Started out as a one-man team all the way back in 2005. Here we are in 2014, and his brother is at the front of the pack, while Daniel, number 9 there, is neatly positioned in the chasing pack.
Now in the lead, Jon Christian Dahl of Team United Bakeries in the lead of the chasing group. But he's now challenged by Roger Ajupik from Team Coop. But Jon Christian Dahl in the lead, followed by Anders Aukland. And we can see now the distance has increased a bit more.
Nothing between that chasing pack, but 1 minute and 2 seconds between Jürgen Brink and Rickard Tynell.
Jimmy Jonsson of Team Coop, a member of the chasing group as well. Well, the tactique of Team Tynell is working just fine this race. The gap for Rickard Tynell is increased another 10 seconds since last time.
Well, the million-dollar question is, can he maintain that gap?
The probability of him doing so is increasing for every second. Really, time's starting to run out for the chasing group. They need to start doing something shortly, otherwise will be too late to catch up with Rickard Tynell.
Well, here are the skiers at the back of the pack. Daniel so far has done a fantastic job in holding up that chasing pack. Surely we will see Anders Aukland and his brother Jürgen make their move sooner rather than later.
An dieser Stelle herzlich willkommen alle Zuschauerinnen und Zuschauer. Es ist schön, dass Sie sich hier ins Zielgelände begeben haben. Wir haben sehr viele Zuschauer auch an der Strecke. Auch denen möchten wir das herzlich willkommen geben und danke, dass Sie unseren Event so persönlich beglücken und uns unterstützen tun. Und danke uns massiv unterstützt haben, insbesondere auch die Energiebauern, touristische Organisation, Gemeinde von Oberengadin, insbesondere zwischen Schweden und Zerneis, in Marathon, in der Radmarathon.
You could see some of the skiers We're really trying to get some extra points in the sprint awards in Ski Classics, where the first skiers get valuable point to win the sprint award.
Well, at the front of the field, not quite gone as we expected to so far. Credit where credit is due to Team Tunnel. Come out today on this new venue. They've put down a marker for everybody. Normally a ski resort here in La Diagonela, just for a day. The Ski Classic Circus has descended down onto this magnificent venue.
And you can see sprint standings right now. Jon Christian Dahl, who won the first sprint award, and then Tinel, of course, won the second. So current sprint standing, we have these two in the lead. But what a fantastic start of this season for Rickard Tinel. I can imagine it's must be even better than he expected himself, to be in the lead by over 1 minute.
Well,
with only 12 kilometers to go.
That's what we spoke about, that accident. And as Auckland was involved in, would that take something out of him? We've yet to see him make a move, and you have to wonder if it did.
Yeah, we'll never know for sure, but it might be that it had some effect. Without that accident, maybe Jörgen Aukland or the other had better energy left to take up the fight with Tinel. Now we have in the lead Team Centric skier. Difficult to see who it was.
The leaders in the men's and the women's race, and still Bonner hunting down the Russian marathon team, and out in front, all incognito for Team Tunnel. Rickard, one of two brothers, still managing to stretch that lead even further.
Still looks like Rickard Tinel has quite a lot of power left. Going strong still. No signs of a real dip for him. It will be hard to catch up with him.
He certainly could do with a win here today, Rickard Tunnel. 48th as we speak in the men's ranking table. Way down on the leader, Anders Auckland, on 1,762 points.
Which is the standings, if you add up all the points over the last 24 months, so with the Auckland brothers in the clear lead in that ranking. And as you mentioned, Rickard Tinel is only on 48th place, only got 12 points during the last 24 months in Ski Classics, compared to 1,762 points for Anders Auckland. So it's this is really a personal record for Rickard Tinel this day.
The impressive thing is he's showing no signs of letting up. Still has a greater deal of energy left in the tank. 11.2 kilometers to go in this race. Certainly, as well as you guys viewing, as well as myself, certainly will be looking to see if he can maintain that lead.
I'm almost starting to believe he'll actually make it. He must be very inspired now by this position that he has now. And still, I can't see it's a really serious attempt from the chasing group to catch up with Rickard Tinell, so which is quite surprising, really.
Well, could it be two brothers who get themselves on the podium as we speak? Daniel is in third place. Not the start that Team Centric would have wanted to make here. If we do see Team Tinell get a 1 and perhaps 2 or 3 place finish. There he is out alone. Nothing but the wonderful mountains, trees, some delightful snow standing between Rickard Tinell, the current leader of Sweden. First place finish. Wow.
And now he has caught up with the leading women, Serena Boner and Shaidurova. So the men's winner will finish just before the women.
There's a lot of traffic ahead now of Rickard Tinell. I'm sure more often than not we'll see him hop over again to change that racing line.
Serena Boner is making her move now, leaving Shaidurova a little bit behind, and as I thought, she makes a real attempt now in the uphill part where she was clearly stronger on the first lap, and once again she gets a gap behind her down to Shaidurova. This may be the place where Boner gets the lead, and she can keep all the way. I think Shaidurova will have a difficult time matching Serena Boner in the end here. Jörgen Outland with well, now he seems to be speeding up, and this is really perhaps last opportunity for the chasing group if they want to catch up with Rickard Tinell. Only 9.5 kilometers to go and 1 minute to catch up. It's won't be easy.
It's a tough ask for Jürgen Auckland. As he said, just under 10 kilometers to go. That gap from the split has been maintained at just over 60 seconds. It's been a while since we've seen Jürgen. Of course, they want to get something out of this Team Centric. There we see two of their competitors at the front now. Jürgen Auckland as well as Stanislav Rezak. So, better late than never for Team Centric. Is this time now that they are going to make inroads into that lead? It's going to be a fascinating last end to this race. Well, if he does keep hold of that lead, Daniel Tinell will deserve all the plaudits and credit that I'm sure he will get. Still looking good, still looking smooth. Already he has passed the two leading ladies and left them behind, and there they are.
Shaidurova is really strong, stronger than I expected. She hasn't given up. Might be a fight over the finish line. Anyway.
In second place now, the Russian, and it does beg the question, is it better to be the hunter or to be hunted? Better to be in first or second place, have the leader in your sights. She's still there, she's still hanging on in there. This Lady Bonnet, been there, seen it, done it.
He's really fighting Diagonela. He gives everything he's got now the last 9 kilometers.
He's been out in front for a while now, Andreas. What is going through his mind? His body aching, it's hurting. He knows that the finishing line is not far away. Just talk us through the psychological effects that's going through him right now.
Now I think he's really struggling with his mind now. His muscles are aching, his body's tired, but given his inspiring position right now, I think it's quite easy for him to gather his positive force and visualize the finish line. So I think he really is inspired and will be able to use really every energy, all energy that he has during the last only 7.7 kilometers to go. It's I'm starting to believe he's gonna make it. Actually, he's really fighting fantastic.
Well, we saw the gap there, and he's still maintaining that gap. Uphill now, really digging into every ounce of his reserves of energy.
I can see in his movements starting to show that he's very tired now. It's not the same power that he had on the first lap, of course, but still looks quite stable. And we can see in the chasing group we have two skiers, but that will be the women leaders. Yeah, 1 minute now. The chasing group is catching up a little bit, but it's too slow. They need to speed up a lot more if they're gonna have any chance of catching up with Diagonela.
5 seconds has been eaten away into that lead. He rolled the dice to make his move early, Diagonela, and we wait with bated breath to see if that decision is going to be vindicated and whether he has the energy, the effort and will to succeed to get himself in first place. What the finish we are going to be in for here at this, the first Swix Ski Classics event of the season.
Yeah, Diagonela going for his surprisingly victory, as it seems, and we look forward to really exciting finish in the second group, following the fight for second and third place, and of course in the women's race, the fight between Serena Bonner and Larissa Shaidurova.
Team Coop came here into this, the first event of the season, weakened by 3 of their members, struck down by illness. If anybody was going to break the dominance of Team Centric today, we expected it to be Team Lee's Plan Go, but so far Team Tonel have surprised everybody.
Yeah, really. So we have oh no, we can see number 4 in Team Lee's Plan Go, Jürgen Brink. As always, he's made a fantastic second part of this race, and he's still in the chasing group. I think we need to count Jürgen Brink in when we get close to the finish here.
Well, he's been on the fringes of the entire race, as you've said. 39 years of age now, 3 bronze medals in his career. 2003 at the Val di Femme. He's going to use that experience here to perhaps get himself on the podium. Just as it's fascinating in the women's race, where the 2 leaders have been out in front now for a while. That gap is closing.
But we can see now that the chasing group, as it seems, are closing in. I think the distance has decreased a bit now between Rickard Tinell and the chasing group.
Well, we haven't seen Rickard Tinell look over his shoulder just yet to see where that closing pack is. Does he just focus on his own game, or is he aware of what is happening on behind him?
I think maybe now he can see where the other group is. But if he needs to focus on his own race, focusing on every meter. But now he has completed the last tougher uphill part. Now he is he'll soon entering after this uphill part. He'll have a little bit easier way down to the finish. Now he is quite tired, and I think chasing group will close in. Oh, it's painful now.
Oh, we saw just one quick look over the shoulder. Oh, what a coup this would be if he were to hang on to this win against all the odds.
Let's see if we can see a picture of some of the chasing group. Not yet. There they are. It's definitely less than a minute now. Maybe only half a minute. Will that be enough? For Rickard Tinell. Now we can see them on his way after this turn. Let's see if Rickard Tinell has the nerves and cool enough to focus on his own race.
Well, all kinds of interesting battles going on right now. Team United Baker is beginning to make their move, as well as Team Centric, all vying for positions on the podium. And of course, Jürgen Brink, showing what a good fighter he is. He's in the mix as well for Team Lee's Plan Go. It's all still
a little bit behind.
To play for. 5.3 kilometers to go in this race. Well, we're just beginning to see fractions now in that chasing pack. They were bunched together some 30 minutes ago. gaps all over the place now.
Yeah.
This is where we see what the skiers are made of, the latter stages of the race.
Yeah, now everyone releases all the powers and energy that they have left this last 5 kilometers. Nothing to save now.
Well, this is the lady that everybody here in Switzerland wants to see get first place. Big, firm favourite here in this part of the world.
Yes.
Bonner beginning to take over with regard to the women's race. And this man, well, as you said, he really must be going through the mill right now. Every joint, every muscle is hurting. It is that first prize that is keeping him going.
And I think we saw before that Serena Bonner finally has left Larissa Sherdurova behind her. Sherdurova was not able to keep up with Bonner any longer. Bonner going for a victory today. Not very surprisingly, she was by far the clear favorite. And now it's 33 seconds between Rickard Tinell and the chasing group.
Well, it is going down and down with every stroke as we speak. 1 minute and 5 seconds just 10 minutes ago. And now that lead has been halved.
And the chasing group can see Rickard Tinell now, and they can see that they are closing in, and which can give them more mental energy to keep going.
Well, a real game of Russian roulette now. They smell blood, the hunting pack, like any predators. And they see the meat in front of them, they go ahead in for the kill. And this is going to be a real test now for this man. Feel that hunting pack breathing down his neck. Can he hold on? 4.1 kilometers to go. Well, the excitement is building here, Andreas.
Yeah. And I think Rickard Tinell is starting to get a little bit anxious, looking over his shoulder. I think it's only 20 seconds now, or something like that.
Well, it is incredible. We had 3 skiers there for Team United Bakeries in that hunting pack, and 2 for Team Centric. 5 of them bunched together, all hunting. The leader down, Rickard Tinell. What a finish we're in for.
And in the chasing group, it's a battle between Team Centric and Team United Bakeries. In Team United Bakeries, we have, for example, Simon Östensen, an exceptional strong skier in the world top, both in traditional skiing and long distance skiing.
So as it stands at the moment in the women's race, it is Team Coop, led by Bonner, who could be out to get themselves on the top of the podium. While we have a Swedish team in the form of Team Tinell out in front. Team United Bakeries in the hunting pack from Norway, as well as Team Centric, another Norwegian team. So we still have an anxious wait here to see as to who is going to get themselves the bragging rights here today in Switzerland. Not far from the finishing line. All kinds of things must be going through the mind right now of Rickard Tinell. Just 26 seconds behind that chasing group.
Now we have and it's downhill now, mostly down towards the finish. A little bit small uphill in the end, but when you're tired, every meter is a struggle. 3 kilometers to go.
Well, meter by meter, the finishing line is almost in vision now. Can he hold on? Just 3 kilometers. This is going to be close. There is the chasing group. Oh, the Auckland brothers have done well after that accident to stay at least in the hunt. Team United Bakeries, 3 of them in that chasing pack of 5. Another look over the shoulder now. It's clear to see, Andreas, he is tiring somewhat. A delightful overhead view here of this skiing circuit. Hats off and congratulations to everybody to get this place up and underway and ready for this, the first event of the season. Such short notice.
Here we have the chasing group now. 5 skiers. Anders Åkland, Simon Östensen. First in that group. We also have Jon Christian Dahl and Johan Kjølsdal. 5 Norwegian excellent skier, and actually 6 of them. Another team-centric skier joins with only 2.2 kilometers to go. I think this will be exciting down to the finish line, really.
He's almost there, he's almost there, he's hurting. That pain will subside if he does get himself a first place finish here. Rikke Tunnell, his brother Daniel did well for a while to hold up the chasing pack, but he was unable to sustain that challenge. And there we see these 6 competitors, all from Norway, pulled away, and they're doing their best to overtake the Swede out in front.
Yeah, there's an extra motivation for them.
There it is. There is the gap. Delightful shot from the helicopter. 23 seconds was the gap. Every 10 to 15 meters there, you can just over half a second into that lead, and certainly it looks like he's just found some energy from somewhere. 1.6 kilometers to go.
Well, whatever happens, Rikke Tunnell has made an extraordinary race here today. It's not easy to be in the lead by your own for more than half the race, almost. It's this is very brave and strong performance, and now you can see the chasing group is really, they put up maximum speed now. Now they're closing in really quick.
Well, it's clear to see he really is struggling. 1.2 kilometers. Can he hold on?
Ooh, I suspect it will be really close.
Well, they're still jostling for positions, but as we speak, it is the 2 skiers from Team Centric who are out in front. There is the gap. 1 kilometer to go. Surely he can hold on here, Rikke Tunnell. He's almost there.
He should make it. It's I guess around 15 seconds, but only 900 meters to go. He should be able to make it.
Well, he took the gamble to make that move early. And is it going to pay off? Perhaps they've left it just a touch too late here, the chasing pack, to make their move.
And I wonder what they think in the chasing pack. Are they aiming for Rickard Tinell, or are they aiming for second place?
Well, we're just under 1 kilometre to go. Surely it is a case of who is going to finish second and third now. It would be an absolute catastrophe now if Team Tinell didn't get themselves a first place. The gap is coming down, but surely he's done enough to seal the deal here. Stay tuned and stay with us as the drama is about to unfold here in La Diagonela here in Switzerland. Another look over the shoulder from Rickard Tinell. He's almost there.
And now he knows he's going to make it.
Well, they're doing their best to hunt down the pack, but he is going to make it, in fact. They certainly believe so here in Switzerland. The announcer on the Tannoy system believes it's going to happen. Rickard Tinell believes it's going to happen. And we will certainly find out very shortly as to whether it does. A fantastic effort made by the chasing pack. Who is going to get second place? Who is going to get third? It is Rickard Tinell of Team Tinell who has taken the first place here. And it is, in fact, two Team United Bakeries skiers who have got themselves a second and third place. What a race it's been. What a finish. And congratulations and hats off to Rickard Tinell. He made the move early, and he got his just rewards in the end. Fantastic effort. And there is his brother Daniel. Not short behind his brother. What a race it was. What a finish we had.
A fantastic performance of Rickard Tinell. He's really, for all years, he's been in the shadow of his older brother Daniel Tinell, the big star, 3 times Vasaloppet winner, but now it's the young Rickard Tinell's turn to be in the light as a winner for the first time.
Well, there it is, a warm embrace from his brother. As you said, he has been a long time in the shadow of his brother, but this is his time. Let him enjoy the moment. What a fantastic effort it was. Fully deserving of the victory today here. A monumental effort, Andreas, to make that move early, and not only make the move early, but maintain it for such a long time.
It takes, of course, the physical and not least the mental strength to do that. Really impressive. And Serena Boner goes closing into the finishing line for a clear victory today. No surprise.
Well, for a long time in this race, you did have a member from the Russian marathon team using all of her experience and her talent to break away, fend off that challenge. And as you said, no surprises to see. She will, unless something untoward were to happen, take a first place finish here. Good win here for Team Coop. On the men's side, certainly weakened with a lot of their more experienced members and captain forced to withdraw. But it looks like they will get success in the ladies' race.
Serena Boner will be very difficult to stop this year in ski classics. Is absolutely the favorite of winning the total ski classics also this year.
There she is, 2 hours and 15 minutes, and she's almost there, Bonner. Looks Looks like it's going to be more success for a skier from this part of the world. And what a popular victory this is going to be. You can hear the crowd, you can hear them willing her on. There it is. 50 kilometres is finished. And what an excellent time it was, Andreas.
Excellent performance once again of Seraina Bonner, and looks very happy. Another victory and winning here in her home parts. But a strong race, really, by Larisa Sherdurova, going in for a clear second place. She challenged Seraina Bonner for a very long time this race, but she had to give up in the end. But she must be very happy with the second place here today.
Well, certainly she should be. Just 1 second under, 1 minute behind the winner, Bonner. And in third place now for Team Centric, Suzanne
Seraina
Nyström.
Bonner from Team Coop, winner of the first race of Swix Classics and La Diagonela. So tell us about the race, Seraina.
It was a hard race as always. I mean, you're just trying to ski as hard as you can, and it was not so fast at the beginning, but then I tried to speed up a little bit on the first loop where the hills were coming, and we were only 2 girls left, a Russian and I, and in the second lap I kind of did the same, and then I was on my own for the last few kilometers and won the race, so I feel great.
So how were you able to get the distance between Larissa?
Well, I mean, that just happens when you try to increase the speed a little bit, and it was, I think, in an uphill where she couldn't follow anymore, and from then on I just tried to do my own race and keep on pushing hard, and I made it to the finish.
Thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you.
We're here about to get a third place finish for Team Centric. We do in fact have Suzanne Nyström, another fine display here. Certainly, Swede has put in a good performance for her side again to gain some points.
Susanne has been in the World Cup long distance skiing for many years now, and she's still there and making another very good race here today. But she has very high ambitions, and I don't think I think she's aiming for more than a third place this year.
So there is the classification of the final results here. Rikke Törnell of Team Törnell. What a fantastic effort it was by the Swedish skier, and in second and third place, 2 Norwegian skiers. A wonderful effort by Johan Karlstad as well as John Christian Dahl for Team United Bakeries. Well, we came here today expecting Team Centric to dominate and clean up on the men's side. It didn't happen that way. And what a surprise it was for us.
Yeah, I think
So Rickard Törnell from
the
Team
Auckland Brothers
Törnell,
and Team
the
Centric are
winner
not
of La
very
Diagonela
pleased.
and Swix Classics first race. You've been second after your brother for years, and now you've win your first race. How was it?
Yeah, it's amazing. I can't believe it. It's a dream to win. It's the first ever, so I'm so happy.
So what were the tactics?
Yeah, it was to go on the second lap and as fast as I can. Yeah.
And you got the distance already from the second sprint.
Yeah, I didn't thought it was going to hold the whole way and the last lap. So, but Daniel, I saw that Daniel was up and hold the tempo down in the group behind. So It was really good, and I just pushed all I had, so it was really close the last K. I was really tired, so 1K more and I think they would catch me up.
And how was the course and how was it the race on this altitude?
Yeah, it was better than I thought it was. I have never raced on this altitude so much before, so yeah, it was very well. It was, yeah.
And what's your expectations now for the next race?
Oh, I don't know. I have to melt this down now and get the good feeling about this now. So then we take the next race in a few days and think about that then.
Congratulations again with a fantastic race.
Yeah, thank you very much.
A very happy Rickard Tinell, of course. And he said if the races had been 1 kilometer longer, he would have been caught up. So it was really, really close, but he made it.
Well, it's good to see him come out of the shadow for his brother. He took a gamble and it worked. Certainly dealt well with this race at altitude, dealt well with the conditions. The first time most of these skiers would have been here, in fact. What a fantastic victory it was. His brother certainly helped, and we spoke about the tactics, Andreas, whether they would come in, and they did in fact come in.
From Team United Bakeries, you got second today. Tell us about the race.
It was a hard race. It was pushing hard all the way. I was racing without wax, so it was a tough uphill. Yeah, out in the track, so I have to race a little bit slow and keep some power left to the last round. So it was good, had a good finish, and I'm satisfied to be number 2 in the first race. That's cool.
And what do you think about Rickard?
Yeah, he was strong today, and he deserved to get the victory because he was racing all alone almost all the time. So that was yeah, he was very strong today. So it was fair.
And what do you think about La Diagonela and the race here?
It's fantastic. It's a lot of snow. It's perfect. Yeah, I like it here.
Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
And number 3 today at La Diagonela and Swix Classics, Jan Christian Dahl. Tell us about your race.
I was trying to save my energy and do some work in the group and try to save my energy to the finish. And I knew that Tinell was ahead of us, but because of the altitude, I didn't dare to go by myself. And he raced almost the whole race alone, and he deserved to win. And I'm very happy by being 3.
And what was the tactics in the team today, being number 2 and 3?
We have a great respect for the altitude, and we try to save our energy and stay in the group and not be left behind. And then we know Johan, who's second, is fast. I have some fastness too, and we try to take the sprint, and we succeeded with that. So we are very happy.
And what are you going to do now in front of Marcialonga?
We have the nationals next week. I don't know what I will race. I go home and then start training for Marcialonga, and then I do some racing nationals and be prepared to that.
Thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you.
Second and third place from Team United Bakeries, Jon Christian Dahl and Johan Kjellstad, and they were both happy and both thought Rickard Tinell really deserved this victory today, racing most of the race by himself.
On the women's side, we see there what a fantastic day for the Russian marathon team, a new team, 2 in the top 4.
You came 3rd today. How was the race?
It was a tough race. I really felt the altitude, and I was double pulling, so I had some tough hills to get up. But I'm very surprised and happy with the result.
And was it a tough course?
Yeah, partly very tough. It was some very steep hills in the race, and since I didn't have any kick wax, I had difficulties getting up there, and I lost a lot of important seconds.
And was it too far up to Larissa and Serena?
Well, I thought in the beginning of the second lap that I maybe would be able to catch them, but it was too tough. I think the altitude is tough also to really get the high speed.
And now in front of Marcialonga, what are you going to do to prepare yourself?
I'm going to compete at home in Sweden and try to maybe keep this shape and make it a bit better.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Susanne is quite happy anyway with her third place. Maybe it sounded like she regretted not using any grip wax, just double poling today. I think she lost a little bit time due to that.
Certainly she wasn't alone with regard to the skiers today not using the wax, and of course all touching on the altitude that gave them a problem or two. Certainly she did well to get herself a third place.
Pictures of a strong Rickard Tinell finishing happy over the finishing line.
And as he said, had it been 1 kilometre more, they would have overtaken him. Did enough in the end just to see it through. Certainly there will be a glass of champagne or two in the Turnau household. So a new venue here at Diagonela, and certainly we've enjoyed the race. All of the skiers have touched upon the fact that they enjoyed it. And I do for one hope that it is back on the Ski Classics calendar next year. We've seen a surprising winner here today, not to take anything away from Rickard Turnell. Certainly a different proposition in Italy in 2 weeks' time at the Marcialonga. Will he be able to surprise us again and get a first place there?
You never know. He's shown today that he has the capacity to be on the top. So I think we'll see some great performance from Rickard Turnell also in Marcialonga. It's a longer race. It's 70 kilometers compared to 50 today, so it's a lot tougher and harder. But I think he'll be doing great there too. But it'll be very interesting to see. Today he had 4.5 seconds.
Well, an indication of just how competitive field it was. 26 seconds between the first and 8th place. Well, we saw some interesting results today from some of the newer teams. Team Vitago there getting himself a 21st and 18th place respectively. The field here for the men certainly was far bigger than the field for the women's. I wonder if that will be the case once again in Italy in a fortnight from now. They do have some other home competitions to enter before the second Ski Classics event. How long will they recover before they get themselves again practicing?
I think they'll take at least 1 or 2 days of rest maybe, or very, very soft training, and then increase the training again towards next weekend. And some of the skiers, as they mentioned, will do some racing at home, national championships in Sweden or Norway, for example, and which will be I think good preparation for Marcialonga. As we said, all skiers has been really positive of this race, and hoping to get back here racing again. I can understand they enjoyed it here today.
Just about everybody concerned has in fact enjoyed it. Certainly there's some wonderful shots there from the helicopter. Surprising win again from Team Tonel. And they will have a chance, the Auckland brothers, to extract their revenge in Italy. And how many of these competitors will we expect to see in the Olympic Winter Games?
Well, there are only a few of them, actually. Most of these skiers are really only focusing on long distance skiing. And nowadays it is very difficult to be in the world top in both traditional skiing and long distance skiing. You need to specialize, so there are very few skiers in the world who has the capacity to be in the world top in both traditional and cross-country skiing. The top skiers today here are really specialized professional long distance skiers, and we won't see them in the Olympics, most of them, but we'll definitely see them in the coming ski classic races. Fantastic environment, really, and an exciting race today. Some highlight picture from the race. We'll remember Tinel's solo struggle in this race. Fantastic. And in the interview he thanked his older brother Daniel for keeping the speed down in the chasing group, which perhaps was something that helped him win here today.
Well, he certainly had a good spirit about him today, and a monumental effort it was by Rickard Tonel. No doubt he will wear a huge smile when he gets himself on that winner's podium, and he will have a proud brother as well watching on. Of what mountains, what space, what light, and what a race here at Diagonela. This delightful town here in St. Moritz. Be pleased as punch with the venue they've given for us here today.
Okay, let's start with the men. We have third place, John Christian Dahl, La Diagonela, first edition. John Christian, where are you? Congratulations, excellent. Second place goes to Johan Jönsson. Congratulations to you. The prize given. Third place goes to Rickard Tonel. Rickard, excellent.
So there are the three first place finishes in the men's race here, the first edition here in Diagonela. And what a moment in this man's life. He fully deserves to at last get himself a first place Rickard Tunnell.
I think now Rickard Tunnell has gained some great respect among the other top skiers. I don't think the other will let Rickard Tunnell go that easily next time. Now they know what he can do.
Well, he's put a marker down for the rest of the field with this performance here today. Still 5 more ski classic venues. And he's done well today, but certainly if he were to repeat this success and get a first place at the Vasaloppet, well, and everybody in the skiing world will certainly be talking about this man.
That would be an exceptional thing for Rickard Tunnell, where he and his brother is born and raised close to the Vasaloppet area. It's really their home soil and very popular up there. So it's definitely a race that they want to win.
What a proud moment now for him as he takes the yellow leader's jersey. John Christian Dahl there as well, taking the sprint jersey. So a Swedish victory here in the men's race and 2 Norwegians in second and third. Team Tunnell and Team United Bakeries cleaning up here in the men's race. Somewhat surprisingly, as the smart money was on Team Centric to perhaps get a 1-2, perhaps even a 1-2-3.
Sprint winner today, Christian Dahl. Third place for Susanne Nyström, Team Centric.
So a disappointing race here for Team Centric in the men's, not so in the women's. With Susanne Nyström doing what she does best. Certainly this is the surprising result of the day here. Shadurova of the Russian marathon team getting a well-deserved second place. What can you say about this lady that hasn't been said before? Another win here for Team Coop. And again, demonstrated to us, Andreas, what a fantastic long-distance skier she is.
She will be very, very difficult to beat this season, Serena Bonner. Today, Larissa Shadurova gave her a fight for a little bit more than half the race, but in the end it was a clear victory for Serena Bonner once again.
Excellent. Race director is giving the main prize. Thank you very much. We have a small picture session. Our representatives of the government, congratulations to Serena Bonner. Okej, en applaus för dina röster som säger det här med ditt liv i varsin. Att gagna det husets slut.
So the Swiss flag there of the winner bonnet. We wave proudly here today. It is the victory that everybody, all the spectators here would have wanted, and they got it. But what a fantastic venue it has been here today. Diagonela here in Switzerland. Certainly pleased to be here, as were they, and what a race we had on our hands. A fantastic finish, Andreas. And certainly everybody got their money's worth here today. Well, there it is. The event number 1 on the Ski Classics 2014 calendar. The first edition here of the Diagonela in the Engadin Valley of Switzerland. But for myself, Errol Creary in the commentary booth, as well as Andreas Johansson, many thanks to tuning in to our coverage today. The Ski Classics Roadshow moves on in 2 weeks' time to Italy, January the 26th, the Marcia Longa. We look forward to seeing you there. But for myself and Andreas, it is goodbye for now.
Bye-bye.